When making the decision of separating from your partner, it's pretty certain that your life is going to completely change. Now, this new era of your life may bring about a lot of confusion and questions. So tell me, Courtney, is there anything that can be done to make separation a little bit easier?
Look, there's plenty of things that people can do. Every family and every couple are completely different, but there's a couple of things that can apply to all people. The first thing is don't vent about the other person on social media. That's becoming more and more of an issue because so many people utilise social media.
Yes.
And it's such an instantaneous form of communication, it can be quite dangerous and it can come back to bite a person later, we're finding. Another thing is if there are children involved, as much as it's easier said than done, it's really important to not have them involved. If there's a dispute, it's between the parents, and the kids need to just be kids. The kids love both parents very much. It's not their fault that the parents are separated, just as much as it's not the parents' fault. But it's important to remember that the kids don't need any pressure on their shoulders and that they're dealing with the emotions of separation just as much, or probably even more, than the adults are.
Yes, so it's keeping the conversation with your children about the children and positive, I guess, not running down the other parent.
Exactly right, not running down the other parent, not having the children pass messages, having interactions between the children and the other parent positive. And all of that's very, very much easier said than done when there's a lot of angst or sometimes ill feelings towards the other parent. But the important thing to remember is the children will remember that as they grow older. So it's very important not to do that.
They do. I'm a child of divorce and I remember most of the things. So it's very, very true. And it can last a lifetime too, I think. That's where I think parents need to be mindful is you've had these children and you're going to be going to 18th birthday parties, 21st birthday parties, graduations, births of grandchildren in the future. So the more damage you do during the separation, the harder it's going to be for those sort of incidents in the future. So how does mediation work? Because mediation is a great tool.
Mediation is a great tool. It's certainly a very good starting point at times. There's different forms of mediation. So mediation can be facilitated through some services such as places called Relationships Australia, Centrecare, Family Relationship Centre. There's some local services we have that usually provide mediation services at a reduced rate. But with those services come quite a long waiting period. So there are also private mediators that can be engaged to assist. So the process of mediation is the separated couple attending with a third party who acts as an independent person to assist them to try and resolve their issues. It can also occur with two people being in the same room, which is not always as common as a shuttle mediation, which means that one person's in one room and the other person's in the other. Sometimes that actually assists with communicating because then people don't feel intimidated or pressured to provide an immediate response and that sort of thing. So a mediation is a very good tool for negotiations. People should always see a lawyer though to talk about options in formalising any agreement reached, because often a mediator won't have the tools or qualifications to assist them with that.
So they'll agree in the room and then it all goes out the window.
Or potentially, yeah, and you don't have the type of agreement you might want or that might be best for your circumstances.
So is going to court always necessary following a separation?
No, it is not necessary, other than in some exceptional circumstances where there might be concerns about harm to a child or children, or assets being dissipated that can mean that court intervention is required. But generally speaking, court should be a last resort. There's plenty of alternative options. We've just talked about mediation. That's a good one. If the parties can communicate between themselves, that's fantastic, and they should limit the issues as much as they can by talking to each other. There's other processes such as collaborative law, where both persons will engage a lawyer, and so they will get their own legal advice, but then there'll be a series of roundtable discussions with the aim to reach an agreement about parenting or property or both in a very civilised manner, and in a way that doesn't look at the process or the law or someone's entitlement, but it focuses on what both people want to achieve in terms of their relationship with their kids and securing assets for their future.
That sounds like a great way to do it as
well. It is fantastic.
Okay, so there you have it. Separation is never easy. So if you're going through it, really sorry to hear that. It's never easy for either side, but it doesn't need to be any worse than it already is. So there are many things that you can do to make things a lot easier though. So for quality legal services to assist you through your separation, give the team at Ruhl Family Law a call. They'd love to help you.